Is it the end of the road for HBAR and the HBAR Foundation? No, I don't think so. In this video, I'm going to be going through why I don't think it's the end, despite what we've heard in the news and what we've seen happening to the HBAR network in the last few days. I just wanted the dust to settle a little bit before I made this video to take everybody through my views, my opinions, why I still think it is a fantastic place for you to be investing your money. So without further ado, let's get going. Before we do, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and hit that bell notification so you know when another video goes live. Right, so we have seen a few headlines like this that say, as chain returns online, HBAR continues its journey down south. Massive FUD for the coin, basically saying, no matter what, this coin is on its way down. Remember, at this time, coins in general were actually going down. So it wasn't just HBAR. And of course, whenever there's some scary news in anything that you invest in, of course, the price of things are going to go down. But I do think that HBAR handled the situation very well. For those of you who aren't too sure what happened, basically, the network was halted on the 9th of March, which is about a week ago. There was an exploit that was found in one of the smart contracts. It was actually a vulnerability that was exploited, and attacker was able to walk away with about $600,000 worth of coins. For most people on the HBAR network, your coins were actually safe. Nothing bad was actually going to happen. And I think the way that they reacted to this crisis was some of the best that we've ever seen in the crypto space. And a lot of crypto companies can actually learn from what HBAR and the HBAR Foundation and all its partners actually did. So if we actually go have a look here at Hashport, as one of the partners of HBAR, they go through a little bit about what happened. So basically, they cooperated with Hedera and key ecosystem participants. They were comfortable to resume services, and they just give a bit of breakdown here. So they were alerted by Pangolin, which is a DEX on the HBAR network, that they had noticed an irregularity with a smart contract code. Pangolin's initial communication to Hashport was 8 minutes after they found the attack had happened. We conferred with HeliSwap, LimeChain, and the HBAR Foundation that there was an ongoing attack. We made the decision to promptly pause the bridge and the HTS tokens as a precautionary measure to prevent the exploited HTS tokens from leaving the ecosystem, in communication and coordination with the HBAR Foundation and Swirl Labs and multiple DEX participants. So again, huge community cooperation. This trapped the hacker on the network and froze the stolen funds. Pangolin, HeliSwap DEX, and their team created a war room in cooperation to handle the situation as efficiently as possible and streamline communication between the parties. SourceSwap and the Stater and Wallet, also the team there, were notified of the risk of the ecosystem. Once they had a bit more clarity on the situation at hand, we sent an update to the community, which is something I love. The community was kept up to date the whole time. As part of the investigation, continue to learn more about the origin of the error, and it basically goes on to say that they eventually found the solution to the problem and deployed the solution after pausing the network. And this is just Pangolin here. They also have their own update as well, which is fantastic. And even better, they actually had an AMA. You can go ahead and watch it on their Twitter, where they take everybody through what happened with the vulnerability, and they explain it and had an open and honest AMA with everybody, which again is something that I love. It's not something that you see very often, but again, it's awesome to see with any of these projects. And what I said is true, is that you can actually learn a lot. A lot of these projects that were hacked, they can learn a lot. So here's just a blog post from Hedera themselves where they give a bit of a breakdown of what happened. I have highlighted some of the more important parts. You can go ahead and read it yourself if you would like to. I'll put a link down below, so go ahead and check it out. But basically, here's the case where 600,000 tokens were taken, or dollars worth of tokens were taken. After the initial analysis of the attacker notifying relevant DEXs, the DevOps shut off proxy access to the mainnet 11 hours after being notified. The core maintainers of the open source software developed and tested a fix within 13 hours of discovering the vulnerability. So the network was only down for a few hours. The fix prevents a smart contract from using delegate call to the HTS compiled contract. So basically, if you want to have a look at exactly what happened, they have a step-by-step here. So the attacker created a contract. He or she then created another contract. and the attacker interacted with the target DEX to extract tokens, basically to test it. They went and created 2 more contracts. Essentially, the attack is the fact that most smart contracts, such as any Uniswap v2 contract, derivation of several DEXs, have a swap function that takes an arbitrary contract to invoke part of the swap. So essentially what they did is they had one contract, they called the other contract, and then gave themselves what they call delegate call on the DEX, and took advantage of the liquidity pools of the DEX and were able then to take those tokens off the liquidity pool. Basically, here it is here where they had the bug with the credentials of the liquidity pool instead of they took control of the liquidity pool. Consequently, the attacker was able to gain approval from the DEX's smart contract, and essentially by using these smart contracts, they were able to take a whole bunch of money. So that is pretty technical. If you'd like to go through it, go and check it out. But at the end of the day, they did make a code change, they deployed it to the network, and it was a vulnerability again. Remember, vulnerability not on the network, but the smart contract. So the Hedera network was always safe, your coins were always safe. It was the way that the smart contracts were working between liquidity pools on certain DEXs. That has been fixed. And since then, nothing has been seen. They were able to find the attacker, the contracts, and all the various transactions that the hacker did. So they were able to isolate it really well. And this is just something here I'm bringing up as some positive news for HBAR and Hedera. So it spiked after Dell joined the council, and there's rumors of HedgeUp onboarding, which is another powerful player to sit on the governing council. So that's going to give some really sort of backing to the HBAR network. And you can see we back up to about 6.5 cents. I do think it is a fairly good price to get into. Remember that HBAR was pretty much 10x this price at the height of the last bull run. So definitely going to be a 10x from this place as well. The one disappointment that I will say is that it does hit on your centralization query. A lot of people are questioning, they're saying there aren't enough nodes with all the governing councils to sort of say that you're decentralized. And this does sort of hit on that as well. But there are public nodes coming to the HBAR and the Hedera Foundation. And once that happens, you won't see too many of these issues. I do still think it is a fantastic project. It's not going anywhere. It's ISO 222 compliant. There was a lot of FUD around this coin when this attack happened. But remember, it's happened to other projects like Algorand about 2 months ago. They saw a bit of an attack where some coins were stolen. So it's not uncommon. There's a big learning curve that came from this. And I think the way that they kept the community involved the whole time and kept them up to date is awesome. And something we should actually applaud HBAR and the Hedera Foundation for what they did, and all their partners, because they all got together, they all worked together and came up with a solution extremely quickly. So I just wanted to sort of stop the FUD, put this video out there, let everybody know in the HBAR community that I still believe in this project, and I think you should too. But remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Go ahead and do your own research, make sure that you understand the project. And if you feel like you're comfortable investing your money, go ahead and do that. Also, one last thing, if you haven't already, join the Telegram. The link is in the description below. And if you would like to become a Patreon as well, I have different levels here depending on what you would like to do. Everything from early access to my videos all the way down to one-on-one sort of consultations between yourself and me, where we can talk about anything crypto and your crypto journey. So check that out. If you'd like to become a Patreon, go ahead, the link is in the description as well. That's all that I'm going to be talking about today. For all those HBAR fans out there, stay strong. For everybody who wants to join the HBAR community, I suggest you do it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.